So, I need to keep an open mind here. Today on the Recipe Vault, we are making potato chip cookies, right? These cookies have potato chips and pecans, and they don't have any leavening. So I'm keeping an open mind, right? I'm committed to doing these recipes. So we're going to see if this will actually make a good cookie. So welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So this is kind of a strange recipe because there's no leveling and there's no liquid at all. The only liquid is a little bit of vanilla. So it's basically the butter and the sugar that turns liquidy. There's only a few ingredients. And when I read this, I was like, is this missing something? So I have, if you're not familiar with what we do in the Recipe Vault, I have several collections of handwritten recipe cards that our grandmas used to use, right? It's written in their handwriting. They've come from all over the country because I've got them at auctions. And so we are working through these and learning to cook some of the recipes. And to be honest with you, a lot of the recipes come from the 70s. And some of them are just not stuff that I would make nowadays. So I'm wading through and I'm trying to pick out something that looks interesting. And this looked interesting just because of its ingredients, right? I'm finding a lot of canned soup and a lot of Jell-O. So I'm sort of passing on those for right now, though I might do a couple of them later. So today we're making this potato chip cookies. And we are using a very special mixer. Do you guys remember this mixer? This hasn't been seen in a long time, right, Boo?
I think it's only been seen once.
It was only seen once. I did an unboxing of this mixer years and years ago. I did do a test and review. I just never released it, right? Because this mixer never ended up coming to market. The difficulties with the company in trying to have warranty work done and a lot of the shipping and stuff didn't quite make it feasible to be released. But I have the original prototype. And if you look on the back of the mixer, this mixer's model is the Amy edition, right? Yay! It's a 7-quart mixer. It is officially the Amy mixer. This is the only one that was made as a prototype. And since we have an interesting recipe today, I figured we would bring this out and use it. So we got the Amy mixer in the house.
And it's the only one that's yellow, and you wanted a yellow mixer.
Yeah, so I asked Eric, I was like, since we're using potato chips, I want a yellow mixer, but I don't have a yellow mixer. This is the only yellow mixer I have. So guess what? The Amy mixer's coming out in the house today, right? So I have literally a whole pound of butter. And when I read this, I didn't believe it, but the recipe says 1 PD of butter. So we were going around like, what could 1 PD be except for pound? And someone suggested pat, but then I wouldn't know how much a pat of butter is. So we're going with pound, right? So I have that in here. We're going to go ahead and put look at our big old paddle here. Let me tilt this up. So this is a very big tilt head mixer.
Yeah, they even tell you on the nameplate how much it weighs.
How much does it weigh?
Read the nameplate. I think it's around 33 pounds.
33 pounds.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and squish our butter here up a little bit. Put some sugar in here.
It is reasonably quiet.
It's very quiet. It's really quiet. So we're gonna go ahead and scrape this down. And we want to cream this really nicely. The butter to sugar ratio, it's high butter and it's a lot. It seems like it's creaming a little bit different than what I'm used to because it feels, when I scrape it, it feels more butter than sugar. There's not even any eggs in this. So if you want an egg-free cookie, there you go, right?
But you got to eat a whole 4 sticks of butter.
Yeah. The recipe directions don't tell you what order to put it in, so I'm going to put it in the order that it's written in the recipe, which is next, we're going to put in flour. That's a slow start. That's very nice. I know someone's going to ask me, where can I get this mixer? But it's not available, unfortunately, because it's really quiet.
Well, the higher speeds might make more noise.
We'll put in the vanilla. I've never made cookies like this before. Ever. Whoops, got away. It does smell very vanilla-y. At this point, there's not a lot of extra ingredients getting in the way of the vanilla.
Well, vanilla's good, right?
Yes. It's kind of a tall mixer, and I'm not exactly tall. Next up, we're putting some potato chips. And I'm thinking potato chips and pecans.
You're not going to fold them in, you're just going to dump them in there then?
I'm going to dump them in, and then I will just give it a light stir.
Turn on.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting.
Hey, if anyone's ever eaten a recipe like this, if your mom or grandma or somebody made this back in the day and you actually remember it.
That's what potato chip and pecan cookies look like.
Wow.
Okay, so let me go grab some sheet pans. I'll turn on the oven and we'll pick these off to see how they taste. Okay, potato chip cookies. They say, well, we're gonna scoop the cookies out first. That's step one. So I'm using my number, I don't know what number this is. This is a 1 ounce. It definitely smells like potato chips. What is potato chips gonna do for the cookie?
It's got to add flavor because there's no flavor in there other than vanilla.
Well, there's no salt, so it's gonna bring the salt. What is it gonna bring texture-wise? Is it gonna sog out or is it gonna...
Well, it's going to have
It's
to
gonna
sog.
stay.
It's going to have to sog, yeah.
crispy? I don't know what the point of potato chips. I mean, wouldn't you just use like oatmeal or something? I don't know. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows the reasons behind the recipe vault.
You used to have a song called Nobody. Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about potato chip cookies?
This one felt a little small when I rolled it, so let me re-scoop it.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to have any little...
Unexact cookies, right? That one kind of looks like a saucer. So it says to flatten the cookies with a fork. I think I'm just going to flatten them with a cup here. If it doesn't overly stick to this, which it seems like it is. Maybe I should put a little spray on this. It's not even round. I think the next batch I'll put a little spray on the bottom of my cup. If you use a fork, it's just going to be like a peanut butter cookie.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good enough. So let me do this other pan.
Let me get your spray.
And scoop and scoop. Whoop. Got a little carried away with that one. Scoop. Wow, it does smell like potato chips. There was a lot of potato chips in there. 1 cup of crushed. Not 1 cup crushed. 1 cup of crushed.
Right, so how many cups do you think you had to...
I don't know, I used like almost half a bag.
You weren't cheating and eating them as you were crunching them, were you? Handful for me, handful for the recipe? No?
I can't confirm or deny that.
Can't confirm or deny that.
Hey!
It's kind of rare that you can sit there and use ingredients to make cookies and actually eat the ingredients as you're making it.
You can't just eat, you can't eat just one, right?
No.
Potato chip.
It'd been horrible if these were salsa and the tortilla chip cookies, huh?
Yeah.
We really, and some avocado. Shoot.
Avocado.
I don't think we'd have a video.
Guacamole cookies. Okay, so let's see what happens if I put a little...
Did you want to get that little guy off? There you go.
Does that help? Not really. Oh, maybe a little. If you did it the way they explained in the recipe, it might be easier. But I'm trying to be bougie.
Right.
And in my bouginess, my cookies aren't round anymore.
Well, if you had one of those siliconized things, wouldn't that like not stick then?
Siliconized?
Yeah, some sort of silicone, and then beat it with that.
Maybe. Into the oven! Okay, so those first 2 batches came out. We put another batch in. It says, while warm, roll in powdered sugar. I'm just going to, these are still warm. I'm going to dust them in powdered sugar. Just because I don't want to sit up here rolling them everywhere. I'm just going to dust them. They look kind of good. They look like Pecan Sandies. Is that what those are called, Boo? Pecan Sandy?
I mean, probably. They look good. We're experimenting with cooking times, baking times, because they didn't really tell us other than firm.
Yeah, all it says is bake until firm. Well, what does that mean, right?
Yeah.
So when you're writing recipes for your friends and family or whoever, be precise, because it helps the cook, right?
We know ovens have different temperatures and cook times, but still, it's nice to say 10 to 12 or 12 to 14.
Yeah. So, cooks, it's time to taste a cookie. So, these are kind of interesting because there's no leavening, there's no eggs. It's like all butter and sugar. Reminds me of a pecan sandy, so we'll see if it tastes like a pecan sandy. That's what they look like.
Thank
Mr.
you,
E.
Thank you, Boo.
And that's what they look like. They look like pecan sandies. They taste like pecan sandies.
A little crunchy.
Pecan sandies does have that like dryness. I think these are pretty good. Not sure. Not sure if I would go with the potato chip route the next time I try to make these. I think I want to go traditional pecan sandy, which I want to develop my own recipe because I love pecan sandies. These taste a lot like pecan sandies. Eric doesn't know what a pecan sandy tastes like.
I'm out of work.
So I might order some on my next grocery order. So you can taste them. They have, I think they're like Keebler makes some of them. But that's what these taste like, pecan sandies. Kind of fun. I don't know if the potatoes chips gives it like a different kind of feel when you chew.
Tastes good to me.
Yeah. I think these are pretty much a silly take on pecan sandy.
Probably.
So I'm gonna work on a recipe for that, and we will make pecan sandies. So potato chip cookies. So this might be interesting to make with your kids because it's got the potato chips. They're gonna think that's funny. It's got the pecans for the grown-ups, right? Or pecan. Or pecan. What? I think they're tasty. So thanks for joining me, cooks. This is a little look at the Amy mixer. I hope you had fun with that, right? I know I did, right? Because I love using different kind of mixer. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.